where I have felt like I was going to be abducted. I'm a woman and I'm currently 23 years old. I'm also on the petite side, standing at a whopping 5'3" and weighing around 115 pounds. Because of this, I typically wear heels or platform boots so that I can appear taller than I actually am. This story happened this spring while at a second-hand store. I was looking to find a good side table-styled cabinet, and my boyfriend came with me because I have already been nearly abducted twice in my life and I suffer from CPTSD in part because of that. So I am not really able to go out in public by myself unless I'm with someone, going to class, or going to work. Lucky for me, my boyfriend is 6'3", lean but muscular, has a very deep, intimidating voice, and has absolutely no issues with taking physical action if I needed that kind of defense. So it's nice basically having my own caring, personal bodyguard. For context, the area I live in is bad for human trafficking. I live in northern Wisconsin but close to Minneapolis. The I-94 runs basically straight to Minneapolis from the Dells. I grew up near that area and I know full well that the Dells has bad trafficking issues too because of the high levels tourism in the area. Plus Baraboo still has running cargo trains that are rumored to contribute to trafficking. But that's not entirely relevant. The town I currently live in is split in half by the same interstate and there's a Walmart right by the exit. There have been many abductions of women in our town in various locations all over, and it isn't a secret to anybody that it is an issue for the area. Now with the story. My boyfriend and I go to the next town over to look for a cabinet-styled side table because the second-hand shops in our town don't sell furniture. We get inside and look around a little bit before my boyfriend says he needs to go to the bathroom. I keep browsing nearby the bathrooms in a display area for desks, dressers, etc., and I find this really neat vintage vanity with hidden organizers in the top of the desk, and I start looking at it and checking out its little features. While doing so, I feel eyes on me, so I look around to see if I'm being watched by someone. Sure enough, in the row of desks behind me, there is a middle-aged man looking at me with no facial expressions. I'm dressed in a skirt and knee socks, and this is one of my go-to looks. So glaring at creepy men eyeing me up isn't something new to me. But since I'm alone at the moment and don't want to piss the guy off, I give him the cliche Midwestern half smile and move up the row away from him, but towards the corner of this section. All of a sudden this guy practically runs to the row I'm in. So I take a right and head up towards where he was standing when I spotted him initially. He picks up pace and I am now half running trying to get away from him, and after a small chase around furniture, we end up in a situation where I am standing on one side of the row of desks, and he is standing in front of me on the other side waiting to see which way I go, at a standstill. At this moment, I try looking to my left towards the other furniture and bathrooms to see if anyone is around to witness this. And thank Gaia, my boyfriend is out of the bathroom already walking towards us with very squared up posture. He looks absolutely livid and his eyes are locked solidly onto this creep that was chasing me around furniture just a second ago. My boyfriend reaches my side and puts his arm around my shoulder protectively, and he and the creep make eye contact. They honestly both looked equally pissed off. The guy doesn't say anything, just walks away. But every few minutes or so we see him looking at us a few aisles away wherever we are in the store, and I am anxious as all hell at this point and just want to leave. But my boyfriend is trying his best to reassure me and calm me down in ways he best knows how, with little avail. He eventually distracts me from the guy by finding a perfect side table for what I was looking for. Dark cherry wood, glass door, shelves, absolutely beautiful, and only $30. We pick it up and head to checkout, and the entire time I am paranoid and looking around to see if this guy is near us. He is currently being checked out at the register and we are being separated by two other customers. My anxiety spikes again, but I try not to let it show. When he is done, he walks through the first set of doors to exit, but is still in the first entrance of the store, just standing there. He looks at me and we make eye contact a few times while I am in line and then checking out. I make it a point to stand on the right side of my boyfriend carrying my new find out and holding eye contact with the creep the whole time we exit and get to the car. He doesn't say or do anything. He didn't follow us. He just stared at me and we get to the car safely. Although I am still paranoid and trying to get the side table in the car and secure it as fast as possible. But regardless, we left safe and made it home okay. I can't say for certain that this man was trying to abduct me, let alone if he was working with human traffickers. But I highly doubt he was chasing and stalking me around the store with pure intentions. So, to the creep that chases women the moment they are alone for less than 5 minutes in secondhand stores, let's not meet again. Please take note that my life has completely changed over the last time this situation happened. I'm no longer that evil nor that person I used to behave like. I'm happy that I'm going to therapy to talk with someone about the obstacles that I have used to go through. It started in 2019 when I created a dating profile on Tamia LGBTQ+ app where a small community can meet friends or find a partner. I continued to use the app for a week, but one night when I swiped right on a guy who seemed like my type. I usually don't text back on these dating apps since I feel like people just use it when they are bored. But the guy was actually funny and we had a decent conversation about life and our childhood. After 2 weeks of talking on the phone and texting, Connor wanted to meet with me. I wasn't surprised to hear him ask that because I knew meeting people online was going to get places since it was a dating app after all. So I agreed to meet him. When Friday showed up, I was super nervous. This was going to be my first time meeting Connor and I didn't know what to do. I gave Connor my address and waited for him to arrive. After waiting for a long time, I finally got a text message saying he was outside. I told my mom I was hanging with my friend. I saw Connor's gray car parked near the side of the driveway. He was waiting outside, leaning his back on the passenger's door, and he went to hug me before opening his door for me to get into the car. It felt nervous. It was my first time getting into a stranger's car. I usually don't meet people online in real life because my anxiety is the worst. Connor was 6 feet tall. That was the first thing I noticed when I saw him. He took me Applebee's. As always, you get more conversation through a text than face-to-face because we only made small talk. 4 months went by and it was already New Year's Eve. We have been dating since. I never knew that I'll still be in a relationship, but it slowly went down the drain when Connor texts me about him seeing another guy. He didn't even have the courage to call me or even meet with me to tell me that he screwed around with one of his old friends. I felt so hurt and angry. I remembered not being able to get out of bed until my friend made me get out of bed cause of her caring for me. I was still angry over the situation and I wanted revenge. Before you judge my actions or tell me how horrible I am as a person, you need to understand that I wasn't thinking clearly and I sure wasn't acting on my age that day. I knew that Connor's popularity on social media was huge. I mean, he had at least 0 friends on Facebook, so I created a fake account and posted a blog page link, speaking badly upon his name into one of his friends' Facebook groups that I was still under. I know how stupid of me to do, but again, I wanted revenge for him cheating on me. I left the link in the group for at least an hour or so, because I remembered getting a call from Connor. He sounded so angry. "Miles, did you post that?" He asked me over the phone. My anxiety started to kick it and I was shaking like a dog. I tried to hide it under my frightened tone. "They are messaging me about you." "Connor, I lie." I could feel my heart beat out of my chest. This was getting too far. "Send me the screenshots, please," Connor said after hanging up the phone. I froze. I couldn't even think straight. He wanted me to send myself a fake message. He then texts me that the police will be looking into the fake profile I created and my head was spinning. I wanted to cry. I wanted to tell Connor it was me and just be done with it. I created something out of rage. I wanted revenge for something I couldn't control. I become a monster I never knew that was inside me. I did send Connor the fake screenshot to his phone, then deleted the account. My excuses of explaining myself to him couldn't even save me, no matter how much I make. A week eventually goes by and I'm still scared upon the issue. How come the truth hurts more than the lie? But that's what's dreadful about anger, your actions won't always be mature. After a month though, Connor finds out that it was me. I stupidly used the same Pinterest photo I used on the fake Facebook account on my Instagram. Connor wasn't happy. I explained to him that my anger got the best of me about him cheating on me and that I was still learning to act better. Connor did let it slide, and I prayed to God every night that my immature mistake never comes back to haunt me, because the best revenge is to have enough self-worth not to seek it. Children are more connected to the paranormal and such. Well, I was by far one of those kids that this applied to. I always had issues with sleepwalking, which one night resulted in completely freaking my mother out as I was visibly upset, and pointing in the corner of the room, repeating the number 6 over and over again between my cries. I also had a horrible case of separation anxiety, so I would always sleep in my mom's room. One night, I woke up to see a man kneeling by my side of the bed, just watching me. He had a face of admiration, the same look a loving parent would look at their child with. This obviously freaked me out, and I scooted closer to my mom with wide eyes. This made the man's once admirable look turn into one of disappointment, as if my fear made him sad. Then he simply faded away. I didn't bother to wake my mom up. I was too shocked to even move or do anything, and I knew she probably wouldn't believe me anyway. I never saw that man again.